Welcome back to LCOBMW. I'm Glenn McGowan. Today I'm going to be working on this small block 355 that I have here to address the thumbnail. Is this better than an LS? In my application, yes. Performance wise, maybe not. But for me, this is going to be a direct replacement for the 350 that's in the blue 73. Now, when you're doing an LS swap, there's a lot that you have to kind of factor in. Exhaust, drivetrain, what trans you're going to run, is it going to change the length of your drive shaft, engine mounts, your fuel system. So for me, it was kind of just a no-brainer because I already had the side exhaust that I want on the car, and I have 5-tech fuel injection on the car. So if I went down the road and put an LS in it, I'd have to change all of that, and then I'd end up having to put like a T56 and then have a custom drive shaft made or buy a custom drive shaft. With this, I can use this engine, use my headers, use my fuel injection, do some bolt-ons to this engine, and I'm also going to take the time to do a 4-speed swap for that car. It does have a turbo 400 in it now, and the car runs fine. It's very reliable, but it's just not that fun. So I'm going to take the time now to just do a little modifications to the thing to make it that much more exciting on the street. So today I'm going to get this thing jacked up on an engine stand, and we're going to go through the whole thing to make sure that there's no problems or any issues, and just try to see kind of what we're working with. This week's video is brought to you by LCOBMW.com. Shop our site for Corvette performance parts. We now have our new D.I.Y cat delete pipes back in stock, our new test pipes, and we now have a new version of our hose kit available. This is for 88 to 91. This includes a fitting that you can hook your hose directly up to the hose that's on your car on the firewall. So check out the link in the description or visit LCOBMW.com. I've been sitting on the floor here, dug it out last week. I'm going to, or I actually already did, cracked all these loose. So when I jack it up, I'm going to pull this off first, just so I don't have to worry about taking it off when it's on the stand there. It's kind of hard to get to there. Besides that, I already have a strap on it. So we're going to jack it up with that old girl there, put it on here, and then we'll start taking it apart. All right, so I'm pretty much going to get rid of all the accessories and stuff on here because I don't know the condition of it. It's been sitting forever. Get all this off here. Most people use chains. Around here we use seat belts. If you ever bought an engine from a junkyard, it's pretty much all they use. And it works. Take this flywheel off real quick. Got this bolted on, so I'm gonna put this on these. Now we start tearing into it a little bit. I took this valve cover off last week and everything looked normal. There wasn't any like roller rockers or anything in here. It's just pretty much just the factory stuff. Now I'm not going to reuse any of the valve covers. I actually have like taller aluminum ones on my C3 now, which I'm just going to polish those up, put them on here, but take them off. And everything's like covered with mouse crap, which is a good sign. Probably gonna vacuum this real quick, just get most of this stuff off so nothing falls inside. As you can see, nothing special. All right, before I go any further, I'm going to just start draining the oil out of this, whatever's in here, I'm not sure. Get that drained before I pull the pan off. No sign of metal shavings, which is a plus. So far. All right, so now I'm going to get all this front stuff off here. Take this alternator off, water pump, everything. There's a power steering pump in here left over from the other car. So I'm going to get all that off right now. I am putting everything aside here, right over there. I'm gonna make a nice little kind of layout of everything. I don't think I'll be using any of that, but just in case I need something, I'm just gonna have everything there. For now, it's a good way to stay organized when you're doing something like this. Looks like some sort of fancy pants alternator bracket on here, so someone cared. So I'll save that stuff too, it always comes in handy. All right. Water pump. Crank pulley. Smash crank pulley. So it's got a performance damper on there, which is cool. All right, now I'm going to work on getting the distributor off, and then I'm going to pop the intake manifold off. And this was an LSD distributor. Intake. Looks pretty normal down in there. So one like telltale thing, you can really tell by the oil that's left in this thing. So if the guy said, yeah, it was just running the other day, and then you look at the oil just kind of like in the valley here, you can tell that this was sitting for so long where it's just kind of like gummed up really, really bad. I just want to zoom in and show you. So it really kind of tells you if it's been sitting or if it ran recently. So it's one little thing to look for if you are tearing apart pretty much any engine. So you can see where the oil's puddled in there, and it actually is like sludged up in here, and this is just probably mineral oil. The synthetic doesn't do it as bad, or if any, because it just doesn't break down, but the mineral oil just sludges up really heavily in there like that. So, you know, obviously you can clean all that up, but the hydraulic lifters in here, like I will probably just replace those, because if there's any oil in there and it's, you know, gummed up, you may have like a noisy lifter. So that's one thing I'll definitely probably replace there, but it just gives you a little reference that you can kind of tell how long the thing's been sitting for. All right, now I'm gonna just flip this thing upside down, pull the pan off, and then get a better look inside. And all the coolant's on the floor now. All right, so take a good look underneath here. Hopefully there's no surprises. Ooh, it's a 4-bolt main, that's exciting. No metal at the bottom of the pan. That's also exciting. Get a nice up close view here. So nice 4 bolts there. So that's a good sign. Have to dig a little deeper too. Those pistons look nice. I'm not sure what brand they are. So we're off to a good start. Everything looks good. Nothing packed in there. I did oil pan gasket, or actually fixed a hole in the 69 vet. And when I pulled the pan down, the inside of the pan was just painted, and all the paint came off of the pan from sitting so long that it was packed inside the oil pickup. So I don't know how long it was like that, but you know, it's nice seeing one like this. Obviously there's nothing in it, nothing's kind of built up in there, so it's a good sign. So everything's looking pretty good so far. Another thing too, this I'm assuming is 86 and up. This has got a 1-piece rear main seal. So I'm gonna give you a zoomed in shot here what that looks like that, how the crank sticks out like that, and there's just a 1-piece, and that started in 1986. Everything after that's a 2-piece. Like that car has a 2-piece rear main seal, and this one's obviously 86 and up. I got my gear puller here. I'm gonna pull off this balancer here, mainly so I can get the timing cover off, because I want to reseal everything no matter what, and then just take a peek inside of there, see what that's looking like. So I'll get this off right now. I mean, so far I'm pretty happy with the way this thing's looking. I didn't want to make this a big thing. I wanted this to be like a decent bottom end, so I can, you know, essentially, I'm probably going to end up putting heads on it and just essentially putting it back in the car. So the good thing is, whoever built this originally did, so far, it looks like a good job. So it's somewhat of a beefy bottom end. And there is a cam in it. I'm not sure what size it is, but it was a decent cam that was in it. So I'm probably gonna leave that too. Just gaskets for everything. And we'll pop these heads off too, just to take a better look. front cover. Yeah, and it looks like nice double roller timing chain there. So that's a good thing. All right, now I'm gonna unbolt all the rockers in here, and then I'm gonna get to all these head bolts here, like that. Take out rockers, and then the push rods here, like this. I have a box with some holes in it. It says front and back. They're pretty much the same lengths. It doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna just put them that way anyway. It's nice to be organized. Now I'm gonna break loose all the head bolts, get them out, and pry these bad boys off. All right, so got them all loose, just pry the back here's a little bit, it's ready to come off. And that's the last one. Quick inside view there. Okay, so now I got everything torn down. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty confident now that I'm ready to put this thing back together and put it in my car. Nothing standing out. Everything looks pretty decent and beefy enough for my application here. So nothing seized up, so just a little bit of maintenance. There's a ton of little gunk and stuff like that needs to be cleaned up. But I'll clean everything, and we'll get to that next time. We'll clean everything off and then paint the block, and then just, I gotta pretty much put a parts list together of what I need to reassemble this, all the gaskets, start looking at some heads, all that kind of good stuff like that. But we'll get to that in the future. But for right now, I've got a nice little base engine to start with. All right, so that's it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Thanks for watching.